Give yourself this major breakthrough. In this episode, I'm going to address the question how to increase the chance of achieving a goal to over 90%. It's powerful. Get ready. So my name's Doug Andrew, and I've been very blessed in my life to have written 12 books thus far, and I'm even more grateful. They've all been bestsellers. My most recent book, just released, is called The 10 Keys Transformation. Now, it's written primarily to an entrepreneurial audience, those business owners, but we're all in the busyness of life. See, your customers, if you're a mom or a dad, are your children, right? So there's a lot of principles in this book that apply no matter what you do. But as far as business owners are concerned, the subtitle is how to exponentially elevate your career, profits, and customer engagement. If we're wearing the hat of a mom or dad, the customer engagement is your engagement with your children or maybe your grandchildren, okay? In 60 months or less while simplifying your life. A lot of times people think, wait a minute, if I'm going to grow exponentially, I've helped many entrepreneurs grow their practice by 10 times in less than 60 months, and they originally think they're gonna have to work 10 times harder. No, I actually help them simplify their lives. So that's what I'm passionate about. I've invested over $3 million in my life, sharpening my saw, as Stephen Covey would say, helping people optimize their assets and figuring out how to take their practice, whether they're a doctor, a dentist, a CPA, a tax attorney, a realtor, I don't care what you do. But in this particular episode, I'm going to talk about one of the tools that I developed a long time ago that will help no matter what you do, be able to achieve a 90% chance or greater success with what I call a major breakthrough. Now, I'm an acronym guy. So get ready, and you can get a free copy of this 200-page book, by the way. I'll remind you at the end by going to free10keysbook.com. But let's go back and look at this concept of major breakthrough. Whenever I have a goal that I want to achieve, I like to set SMART goals. SMART is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, okay? The A is attainable. It's got to be attainable. The R is in a realistic time frame. It's got to be relevant, is another word for the R. And T is in a time frame of 1 year, 3 years, or whatever. Now, I actually have designed many thinking tools that thousands of entrepreneurs and parents and grandparents use with their children and grandchildren. One is called the Goal Activator. But I'm going to share with you right now one of my favorite, which is called the Opportunity Breakthrough. And you can print this out on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And so when you actually go claim your free copy of the book, you'll see how you can obtain a copy of this tool. So let me share with you how it works. I'm going to go through how this acronym BREAK works. So it may be hard for you to see it on the screen. So I'm going to read what each of these boxes mean. But we start with B, then REAK. This is a breakthrough. Whenever you have an opportunity, a goal, and you realize, golly, I need to seize this opportunity and make sure that it comes to fruition. Do you know that most people who set goals or who have opportunities only usually achieve it maybe 55% of the time? What I want for you is dramatically increase the chance of achieving that goal, seizing that opportunity to go up to over 90%. You can do it by filling out one sheet of paper. You take 15 minutes. So you write down the opportunity, the goal, what it is, the vision that you're trying to achieve. And you start with the B, and you brainstorm on the left. The B stands for barriers. Okay, you got to get real. So what has held you back so far? What are some of the major barriers or roadblocks or hindrances that would stand in the way of you achieving that? So maybe if you want to lose weight, or you want to exercise more, get more physically fit, or maybe you want to pay off your house, or maybe you want to become financially independent in 15 years. Whatever the goal is, you have barriers, you have roadblocks that are going to stand in the way. You know that people are going to be tempting you with food, or it's the holidays coming up and most people gain about 12 pounds average during the holidays. And so you've got some barriers. So you list down all of the barriers or roadblocks that may stand in the way of achieving the goal, and get real, because they're going to happen. So you get honest with yourself and you write them down, and then what? You circle the top 3 that will be the hardest to overcome that you need to focus on. And you list them over on the right. Number 1, number 2, number 3 barrier that I need to overcome and get ready for, so that when somebody says, come on, have another piece of pie. Yeah. No, what you're going to say or what you're going to do, or when somebody says, let's take an extra trip, and it's going to use the money that you were going to sock away, whatever it is, you get in your mind, you're going to be ready for that barrier and how you're going to overcome it. You're getting it? You go down to the next box. That is the R, stands for resources. So you're asking yourself, okay, what are the skills? What are the different resources maybe that you can draw from yourself or from others or books or whatever? And you're going to have resources to help you achieve that goal. So let's say that you had a goal of trying to capture your mother's history before she has another stroke. You could use resources like I have, where it's called memory joggers. Or you could use Otter AI, where you interview your mother or father and you ask them questions, and it actually records and transcribes it instantly as you go. You have actually questions that I've listed that you ask people, and these help you get out of people experiences they haven't talked about for years. If it's for losing weight or a fitness trainer, you're going to use the resources, a trainer, a nutritionist, or a diet plan or something like that. This is what I mean by resources. You list them down, brainstorm, and you then prioritize number 1 resource, number 2, number 3 over on the right. Are you getting it? What's the E stand for? Experiences. So what experiences have you had, or that you need to make sure you do have, so that you can learn to be able to overcome? So maybe you have to have some experiences of going out and being tempted to overcome a temptation to maybe drink or smoke or something like that, and you're trying to quit. And so you've got to draw from other people's experiences, or you need to be able to experience it yourself so that you can feel confident that you can resist. That's what the E stands for. So experiences, again, you list the experiences that you want to draw from or have yourself, and number 1, 2, and 3 over on the right. So what's the A for? Action. You need to write down the specific action steps that you need to take in order to make sure that the chance of achieving this goes from 55% up to over 90%. So you list the different actions you need to take in order to achieve this, to be able to hire a nutritionist, to set aside Monday, Wednesdays, Friday mornings to go work out with a trainer, and to be able to use this diet and have these supplements or whatever you're doing. So you write down the action steps, 1, 2, 3, priority. See, the human brain can sort of gets it armed around a list of 3. That's why you simplify 3, 3, 3, 3. If you have a big long list, it's hard to grasp, because if you focus on the top 3, the chance the others fall in line just happens naturally, all the time. Now, what's the K for? Knowledge. What knowledge do you need to obtain or draw from reading books, listening, watching? That's why I'm so passionate about education. In fact, in our family, we believe in education more than school. And that's why I have this YouTube channel with over 500 educational videos on this. Now, this isn't about me, this is about you. If this is resonating with you, if this is helping you, click like, make a comment, subscribe, click on the little bell so you'll be notified every time I post an in-depth answer to a question. And stay with me here, because again, I want to gift you a copy of this book called The 10 Keys. Once you have the knowledge that you need to obtain prioritized, Now down the right-hand side, your brain goes, oh, here's the top 3, what? Barriers to overcome and how I'm going to do it. The top 3 resources, the top 3 experiences, the top 3 action steps, and the top 3 knowledge that I'm going to obtain or utilize. And bam, 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 you now are so focused that the chance of you achieving that goal or seeing that opportunity come to full fruition in full living color goes to over 90%. This has been used with our children and grandchildren, with many of our clients for years. And I get thank you notes all the time. Would you like to implement this yourself? Would you like a copy of this form? Let me show you how you can get one. This tool, this is called a tool, is one of 22 that I have in our 10 Keys Masterclass. Now, when you get your free copy of the 10 Keys book, you'll learn how to use these tools. And you'll see there that I have tools that are in like a tool shed that maybe I might use the form once every 6 months or once a year. And that might be for setting New Year's goals or whatever. There are other tools that I use maybe on a monthly basis. That's like in a toolbox. But I have tools that I use almost on a daily or weekly basis. Those are like on a tool belt. So there's about 7 or 8 tools in the tool belt, another in the toolbox, and another in the tool shed. You can have access to those tools when you go in also and go through a master class, because I teach about 90 minutes in depth on every one of these concepts. And you'll have the opportunity when you claim your free copy of the book to be able to do that. So folks, go to free10keysbook.com, contribute a nominal amount towards the processing fee. You can get a digital copy of this book, and it's in color. You can print it out. And also there's an audio version. And again, there's a master class where I do a deep dive in every one of these 10 keys for about 90 minutes.